On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Good morning and happy hump day, everybody. Oh man, I'm so excited to get to talk about this again. And look, you saw the title of the video, you know why you clicked on it. So, let's get to my little Muhammad active comments before we begin. Actually, you know what? I will say that my low is something that technically I brought upon myself. But I occasionally watch the infographic show on YouTube, and I saw a video of theirs yesterday that made me feel really, really sad. It talks about what life is like serving a quote-unquote life sentence, 40 years. I'm like, I can't imagine doing I can't imagine doing one day of that, much less 40 years. I mean, if that were to happen to me, I'd be 76 by the time I got out. If I ever got out. Like, for real. Like, that made me feel really sad. Not to mention all the people I wouldn't be able to see again. Yeah, sorry. I need to think positively. Talking about Chuggaaconroy. Well, I'm talking about Chuggaaconroy again. I gotta be positive. So, my high is, it was warm out yesterday. Not as warm as Monday, but, it's better than we got last week. So that's always a good thing. And what's my act of kindness? My act of kindness is that I did a favor for somebody yesterday. Nothing major, just had to, write something down for a note for someone to see later. So, with that said, you're probably wondering why it takes so long for this video to come out. Well, I can only really do this series of videos as long as Chuggaaconroy's Let's playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Which, listen, him making the videos he makes takes a lot of time already. That's a given. I'm not gonna, I don't think I need to explain that part. However, for those of you who don't already know, like, between going to the conventions that he's been going to, like, I think with the MagFest and stuff like that, he's gotten sick, like, multiple times in, like, the last month. Like, really sick. Not to mention him and Nintendo Capri Sun, who also lives with him. Basically, like, they've been, like, sharing sicknesses, like, back and forth for a month at this point or whatever. I mean, listen, we can't judge anybody for getting sick, and especially at this time of year. I mean, we're currently in the height of flu season right now. I mean, full stop, in the morning, if I feel like I might be getting like a tickle in my throat for a cough or something like that, I immediately take some Mucinex and some Dayquil. I immediately just do that so I can feel better and get on with my day. And usually after that, whatever I'm feeling passes, which is great. But, the fact that we're in a time of year where that happens more than once, it's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, you hear people say all the time you can't afford to get sick. Well, this stuff is why. Because I'm sure we'd probably be a lot farther in the Chuggaaconroy's Let's Play if he never got sick. But, good things come to those who wait. And we had, and well, actually, there was a bunch of good things that happened after Chuggaaconroy started playing again, including getting a new team member. Yeah, it's an A-Palm that he named Teeny. And I want to say something. Chuggaaconroy's been no stranger to using normal type Pokemon in any of his past Pokemon Let's Plays. I mean, off the top of my head, he used Persian when he played Fire Red. If we're counting dual typing, he did Fearow, also in Fire Red. He did Slacking when he did Emerald. He also used Clefairy. Remember, this is when he did Platinum, and Fairy types didn't exist yet. And at that point, Clefable was a normal type. So, Chuggaaconroy using normal types is nothing new. However, this A-Palm marks the first Pokemon he's ever added to his team that he got via breeding. Yeah, he's never used the breeding mechanic in any of his. Well, he can't really use breeding in Fire Red, Leaf Green. I mean, Crystal he can, and Emerald he can, and Diamond and Pearl he can, but he never really utilized that. This A-Palm is the first team member that Chuggaaconroy's got through breeding, and it was really cool that he was able to show off what egg moves are, because he got a female A-Palm and a male Meowth, and they're in the same egg group. And when you breed, the species of Pokemon that hatches out the egg will always match whatever the female is. So if you use a female A-Palm, the A-Palm that comes out of the egg the Pokemon that comes out of the egg is going to be an A-Palm. While the gender can. Well, you can actually look up what the odds are of what gender Pokemon can be born at online. But let's say for the sake of argument that it's like 50-50. You don't know what the gender is. However, the fact that this A-Palm was born with Runaway, while normally I would consider one of the worst abilities ever, especially if you have any aspirations of battling competitively, is really good if you plan on evolving your A-Palm into Ambipalm, which of course Chuggaaconroy is, because it gets the ability Technician. TLDR, Technician just boosts the power of moves with a base power of 60 or less. And when Chuggaaconroy was breeding the A-Palm he's now using, the male Meowth that he used passed down an egg move, specifically Fake Out. And Fake Out will get a boost from Technician upon evolution. So, yeah. It's actually a really good idea. He talked about the bug catching contest, how it takes place on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and while any Pokemon could essentially win the bug catching contest, the winners are usually whoever gets like a Scyther or a Pinsir. And you can actually keep those, like the last bug type you capture, you get to keep, which is actually really cool. Especially if you get Scyther, because the Metal Coat in Heart Gold, Soul Silver really isn't that far away. Especially if I believe you go to the Pokéathlon, which is also what Chuggaaconroy did a video on. And full stop, like, depending on the day of the week, the items you win for playing the Pokéathlon can be different. If, however, you time everything right, all the best evolutionary items you can get from the Pokéathlon. Like, no kidding, because I was in a phase back when I played where I wanted, like, every great Pokemon, like, hatched at, like, level 1 and gotten as soon as possible. And you can get a lot of really great evolutionary items from the Pokeathlon, like the Shiny Stone or the Dusk Stone. I believe you could also get the Electrizer or the Magmarizer from that as well. The Dubious Disc, I think you can get as well. Like, there's a lot you can get, or a Metal Coat. I think you get that too. So that's awesome. Glad Chuggaaconroy talked about that. And if you can believe it, there are still more because he finally got to Ecruteak City. Side note, I think I probably talked about this already in this series, but a part of me thought Chuggaaconroy would have gotten Sudowoodo when he battled it, but he didn't. It's fine. So let's get to talking about Ecruteak City. Because Chuggaaconroy made a very good point when he said, if Goldenrod City isn't considered the hub, the sort of central hub of Johto, that argument could go to Ecruteak City. I mean, I see where he's coming from. Personally, though, I really would consider the hub to be Goldenrod. But you could do like a pseudo hub for Ecruteak City. Which, for those of you, like, in terms of cultural significance in Johto, in terms of the inspiration for the region that Johto is in, you look to Ecruteak City because it was modeled after Kyoto, Japan. Right down to the fact that, the two towers, the Burn Tower and the Bell Tower are modeled after towers you see in Kyoto, which is really cool. And I mean, for those of you who don't know the legend, obviously a certain Pokemon, don't want to give away who it is, sat on top of, the original before it was the Burn Tower, that was the first Bell Tower. And, bad people tried to burn down the tower, and this Pokemon went away. In the interim, it also created Entei, Raikou, and Suicune, who actually Chuggaaconroy considered using Entei, if you can believe it, which I thought was which would have kind of neat to see, but I get why he didn't. And it was Gold, Silver, and Crystal that introduced roaming legendaries. Basically, Entei and Raikou will move around all throughout Johto. And if you can actually time it right, they can be right outside of the city that you're in. So all you'd have to do is walk into a patch of grass, and you got them. Well, you get to battle them. They flee right away the moment that the moment it's their turn to go. Unless you're using Taunt, or Mean Look, or, what else? I think Arena Trap might be able to make them stay. Then again, I think they also have Roar, which forces to switch out so they can flee right away. I don't know. I think that's how it works. But let's get into the real big thing he did. He battled the Mortician himself, Morty. I love the Chuggaaconroy I love that Chuggaaconroy figured out that, Morty is a play on Mortician, which kind of makes sense because Morty uses ghost types. And what I find funny is, he clearly got his Apom for the sole purpose of being completely immune to all ghost type attacks. Even going so far as to teach the Apom Shadow Claw. Because the ghost won't be able to damage Apom, but Apom will be damaging the ghost. In fact, he was pretty much sweeping the entire gym with that Apom with Shadow Claw, which was great. He gets to Morty, and he doesn't use it. He uses Nettle, the Bayleaf, using a Swords Dance combo. Well, two setups with Swords Dance. So basically a +4 attack using Razor Leaf on Pokemon that, yes, they are ghost types, but they're part poison, so they resist Razor Leaf, and knocking them all out in like one hit. That's great. I was shocked it worked. I was absolutely shocked that it worked. But yeah, good job, Deno. And shout out to Chuggaaconroy for actually making it. Because listen, I'm sure just about everyone watching this has made fun of the fact that Chuggaaconroy picked Chikorita when Cyndaquil and Totodile are factually better. But he's really making this work. Now, if only he can get to the Earthquake TM fairly quickly. Because if he does, then with that Swords Dance combo, it's really going to be effective. So 4 badges in. And with those 4 badges, you now have access to using Surf and Strength outside of battle. Which the latter is, listen, just about any Pokemon fan knows how good of a move Surf is. It's easily the best HM in the game, followed behind Waterfall, which is another water type move. And both Surf and Waterfall are probably 2 of the best water type moves in the game, depending on if you're a physical attacker or a special attacker. I'm sure Chuggaaconroy has like a water type. He does have a Slowpoke, doesn't he? From the Slowpoke well? I think he does. So he could teach the Slowpoke Surf. So there you go, Chuggaaconroy is a Surf slave. Yes. I should probably be remiss if I didn't say yes. If you don't know, normally when you play Pokemon, you have the HMs to get through, certain areas of the game, but you don't want to waste a move slot on any of your actual team members. So that's why you have what are called HM slaves, which are exactly used for what you would think they're used for. They use HMs and take care of stuff for you while your team doesn't have to waste a move slot on. Well, okay, Surf and Waterfall, they're okay to use. And I guess Strength is also in that category, if you really are pressed for at least something to use. Anyway, so I had to talk about that. And as long as I mentioned breeding, yes, I am well aware. Well, should I even talk about this? Because, both of these Pokemon aren't even in Johto. They're at Hoenn. But when it comes to breeding, it is possible to take Skitty, who is the smallest Pokemon probably in existence, and Wailord, the largest Pokemon in existence, and they are in the same egg group, which means they can both breed with each other. Yeah, Skitty on Wailord action. It's still funny. I don't care. It's still funny when I say it out loud. Also, you finally have a Geodude that evolved into Graveler. Like, I can't be the only Chuggaaconroy fan watching these videos, seeing Chuggaaconroy use Agate, the now Graveler, and like, okay, you can evolve it now into Golem, because it's broken if you use it. What are you doing? Chuggaaconroy, what are you doing? I don't know. But yeah. I'm glad that I'll tell you what though, it's taking Chuggaaconroy a good while to pick the members of his team. Like, I guess it's taking this long is anything new to get, 3 members. At some point he's going to need a Pokemon that knows water type moves like Surf. Again, there is a Pokemon he could get on Fridays, which, now that he has access to both Surf and Strength, he could get. I guess we'll have to wait and see until have to wait and see what he does. But it's great to talk about Chuggaaconroy playing Hard Cold Soul Server again. Can't wait to talk about it more. And who knows, maybe by next week he'll have another team member. Hope you like this video. If you'd like to share our YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm very humble this video for all of you guys watching the show. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, always be here to let me always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.